What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. This video is going to be about old Canon cameras. I just got a question on one of my older videos about which older Canon camera to buy, and I thought I thought that there might be somebody out there that needs this information. Why not make a quick video just to give you a little bit of background on me? For the past 2.5 years, I've been buying and selling specifically old Canon cameras on eBay for spending money. I also have a YouTube channel that has about 5,500 subscribers right now that I've used Canon cameras on, and then I just enjoy photography and videography. So while I got dog hair over here. While I don't have any of these cameras to show you guys, I'm going to show you some eBay listings. I'm going to show you or quickly go over the pros and cons of these cameras, and then hopefully that'll get somebody pointed in the right direction. Now, why do I only use Canon cameras? The lenses that I bought, or the lenses that I started with, were Canon lenses. And now I have one of the Sigma 18-35s, and it's EFS mount or EF mount. So I still use Canon cameras. So I don't know anything about the other camera brands. Sorry. But what we're going to be talking about is cameras to get started for photography. And then we're going to move into cameras that shoot video. All of this is going to be under 150. If you're spending over 150 on any of this stuff, you're making a mistake, because if you just have a little bit of patience, you can find this stuff insanely cheap. It's actually one of the more affordable hobbies that I've ever had. So let's get right into it. So the Canon 10D, hear me out. This was a camera that was a prosumer camera, really well made, and it will only shoot photographs, and it uses CF cards, really small CF cards. I actually shot with one of these for probably 6 months, and some of my work was actually paid work. Even though it is a 6 megapixel sensor, you're not going to be doing any cropping. Even though it's a 6 megapixel sensor, it has some magic color science. So if you're wanting to shoot JPEG, this is a really cheap camera, and you guys are seeing these right now. You can get them for 40 bucks. Right there is a battery grip for 30 bucks. That's parts only. Let's see if we can find one that's not parts. Yeah, 35 bucks right there, plus shipping. So these are EF mount only. So these were made before the EFS mount, but this is a crop sensor camera. So it was right before they made the EFS mount. So you've got to run EF lenses, not a big deal. Get you a 50mm f1.8 or a 40mm f2.8, and then you've got a cool little camera for probably less than 100 bucks. It's a good camera, pretty slow to use. It's a good one to learn manual focus on, and it's got a tiny little back screen, so it's kind of like shooting film. You don't really know what you got till you unload it off of your CF card. The next one I'm going to talk about is the 20D. So it's the next one up. This one has an EFS mount. It's a little bit quicker. Great camera. Here's one. Well, somebody's already bid on it. I'm glad they did. They've got the 17-85 lens. That's a killer deal. I'm glad somebody's already bid on it, or I would. But you can get these for 50 bucks right there with a battery grip. Crazy deal. These are really good cameras. I did a ton of work with a 20D. Some of my favorite photos that I've ever shot have been with the 20D. They just have, even though they are 8.2 megapixel sensors, it's just a really nice image. It looks, if you get your colors in camera right, it looks like film straight out of the camera, or at least I think so. But again, 36 bucks. 35 bucks, so maybe even skip the 10D. I like them both. But again, this is a really well-made camera. It's got the magnesium alloy frame, I think. Really well built. Both of the cameras up to this point have not shot video. Some of the old Rebels, the question I got was about the XTI. Let's check that out. I haven't owned an XTI. So 65 bucks, 11 or 10.1 megapixel sensor. That doesn't seem that bad, but those again will not shoot video. If I was going to spend There's one with a nice lens for 50 bucks. I don't know anything about that one, so I can't recommend it, but that would be a good buy. I mean, this one is coming with a lens, charger, everything for 50 bucks. So I think that'd be a good buy too, but I don't have any experience. Let's go into cameras that will shoot video. So the T2i, great camera. I kind of still wish I had one. I picked one up for 62 bucks and sold it for 140. But if you're buying a T2i, know that it doesn't have a flip out screen, and know that you can't control the audio. So it's really just a video camera for B-roll, or if you're externally recording audio and you're not shooting yourself, because you don't have a flip screen. But you can put Magic Lantern on a T2i. They're great cameras. EFS mount. So there's one for 120 with 2 batteries and a SD card. It's a little high, to be honest with you. I would not pay over 100 bucks for a T2i unless you have a lens. There's one for 100 bucks with a charger, with the Canon charger. I much prefer using the Canon wall chargers. But that would be my next one. Number 3 would be that T2i. Again, you can put Magic Lantern on them and have focus peaking. You can shoot a few seconds of RAW with a T2i. Really nice sensors on those. T3i, my favorite camera. I actually don't have a T3i at the moment. I sold mine a couple weeks ago. But right there, 150. It's a little high for one. You can find these for there's one right there. Flash not working. 122 plus shipping. That's a decent deal. If you wait around, if you watch, you can find these for 120 bucks all day. They're great cameras. The only reason I don't have one is because I flipped it. But this will shoot video, photography. You've got a mic port. You've got a swivel screen. You don't have continuous autofocus in video. But I've made several videos on how to get around that. That would be number 4. Number 5. And the last camera. And I'm going to do a 6, but it's going to be over that 150. Canon 60D, fantastic camera. Better preamps than the T3i. But I saw one of these the other day for 120 bucks right there. New listing, 60D DSLR. I may buy that just to make videos with, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's a crazy deal. That's a great camera for 120 bucks. It's got good preamps. It's a prosumer level camera, so it's a little bit better built than the Rebels. It's actually pretty quick when you're shooting photography, and I think these are 18 megapixels, so it's the same sensor. Let's see if I can find some specs on that. Yeah, 18 megapixel sensor, so it's the same sensor as the T3i, but it's just in a beefier body. For 120 bucks, I'm gonna put a little heart on that to watch it. So that'd be my top 5. 10D, can't heart it, I'm signed out. 10D, 20D, T2i, T3i, and then 60D. The 60D, you can also put Magic Lantern on and record RAW for extended periods of time. So that's why I may be picking one up when I stop recording this video. The next one is what you guys are seeing me through right now. It's a Canon SL2. I picked this SL2 up for 160 bucks. And it is a little beat up, but it still works great. And it also, when I got it, it had the first firmware on it, which tells me that somebody just put it in a bag and it lived in that bag for a long time. It got beat up, but didn't get used. But let's talk about the SL2. Let me see if I can find a cheap one. Anyway, Canon SL2, can't find a cheap one. I would not pay over 250 bucks for an SL2, but they have the 24.2 megapixel sensor, really nice sensor, awesome autofocus, awesome preamps. But that would be number 6, but that's over the 150. But that's the order that I would go in. And then maybe after that, I mean, you might as well go ahead and spend a bunch if you're into it that much. But the SL2 I like better than the SL3 because it shoots 24 frames per second. But I hope this video helps somebody out there. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. And again, check out those links that I put in the description of this video. It's going to be to another channel from Stephen Heiss fantastic channel. I actually wish he would start posting some more. He's already done videos on a couple of the cameras that I mentioned. But that's going to be it from me. I'll see you guys later.